Now this, this was a press conference. Mauricio Pochettino, you got me on board right now. I'm fully on board for your projects and your plans and your ideas. I felt like this press conference today gave me a lot of assurance. I'm liking how Pochettino was carrying himself. You know, this is like easy for him. Nothing's phasing him right now. He is focused solely on the task at hand. And to be fair with you, I kind of feel like this guy, the aura he's given right now, I think this guy was the right guy for the job out of all the candidates that we were interviewing during the summer. So obviously with his big boy press conference today, I need to discuss the 5 key points we learned today from Pochettino's first press conference as our new manager. So I hope you guys are excited for a new Chelsea right now. Obviously Pochettino will bring his own ideas. If you guys were impressed by his interview too, hit that like button. Let's try and get over 3K likes again. Thank you to everyone that did that for the last video. And without wasting any more time,
why do you feel this is the right opportunity for you to return to management? And given the Tottenham links, did you have to think long and hard about coming here?
Well, I was 1 year waiting. First of all, thank you for your welcome. Hope that you will be nice with me because it's not compulsory this press conference, and I can stand up and go away. Not because it's true, it's not compulsory. True or not, Charlie? Yeah. True. And not because we are nice people, yes. And we give the first press conference. No, I am so proud to be here. Thank you for your welcome. I think it's a great opportunity for me to be back in the Premier League, for me the best league in the world.
So I actually quite like that. Obviously Pochettino cracking a few jokes and reminding these guys that he doesn't have to be here. It's not compulsory. So obviously he was probably expecting to be asked about Spurs. I kind of like how he started the press conference, and he's basically like, listen, I'm not ashamed of my past. I'm proud of how I actually got into this position to begin with. But right now, he's here to look towards the future. He's here to focus on the present. He's very proud that he signed for us, for a club that has an amazing men's first team and a women's first team too. Right now, we must move smart. We must move clever. We must create a competitive team and get decisions right at this level. But so far, he's very impressed by the impressions made on his first few days, obviously since signing for us and taking over pre-season.
Are you to having a squad that is ready to win? And what identity can we expect from a Mauricio Pochettino Chelsea team this season?
Well, I think
one thing that Pochettino revealed is that he has full trust in, Lawrence Stewart, Paul Winstonley, the sporting directors that were the ones that actually hired him to begin with. And obviously right now, the plan and ambition is to make us competitive by bringing in the right players. And actually throughout this press conference, he referenced having to strengthen the squads and, address concerns and improve things quite a few times. So I do feel like for Pochettino, getting the right signings at this point in time is a priority. And then it makes a lot of sense, right? I mean, obviously, if you're signing for us, you want to make sure that you get your attacking coaching principles off the ground. And to do that, you need the right personnel and players to make it happen. So we need to make sure that we fully support and back Pochettino this window. Because if we do so, I feel like this guy can actually do something for next season.
What do you believe is a successful season for Chelsea? What are your targets at this stage?
my target is to win. My aim is to win. If you are in a football club like Chelsea, you cannot talk about to do a nice job and to play well. It's of course do a good job. Play well because this is our style and philosophy and culture. But of course to win. If you don't win in a club like Chelsea, for sure you are going to struggle.
I'm thinking that Poch is keeping things quite real. Obviously, I think from last season, I think we all kind of realised that this fan base isn't one for patience for the sake of patience, right? You need to give us something in return. And I think Pochettino understands that. Obviously, having like the third man perspective of being outside the club, witnessing what's happening last season, you're going to come with like new ideas, fresh perspective, all that type of stuff. Like when you come here, it's not only about playing nice football, like there has to be purpose behind it. You have to win. And for Pochettino, he wants to win while implementing his philosophy. It's about bringing in players, which he mentioned again, and it's about creating that togetherness that Pochettino is known for. And I kind of feel like with the squad that, you could be cynical and see it as like, a squad full of strangers that haven't really been in the country for too long. You need a manager that can foster that team spirit, that can unite these guys, that can make them more of a team. So I think that is a very key detail behind why Pochettino is the right guy for our job now.
Just finally, Levi and Noni playing in the European Under-21 Championship finals tomorrow. Have you had a chance to speak with either of them about the role they might play next season?
Yes, we spoke yesterday with Levi and Noni. One, I know Noni from Tottenham. He was in the Under-18.
So of course, Pochettino, he's worked with Madueke when he was playing in the Spurs Academy. And obviously everyone knows Levi Cole at this point in time. And obviously he wishes that these guys do well in the Euros. And obviously he's looking forward to these guys coming back for pre-season.
Very involved here. They get very involved. So how much of an input have you had in the buying and selling of players?
Well, I think it's better if I maybe clarify the situation. I think when we met for first time and then when we agreed to start the 1st of July to work, that was on the end of the May. I think they present Lawrence, Paul, and the owner present the plan strategic for the squad. And of course, they asked me to start 1st of July. I was agreed. I started to work. And of course, they showed me the strategic plan, and I was agree also. And of course, they start to work and they
Okay. I mean, okay, you know, Pochettino's saying, listen, obviously he knows the agreement for him to join us was July 1st. Obviously, he liked the plan that was presented by him, by our sporting directors, and he revealed that he's looking forward to working alongside them. And we know this already based on our pursuit to try and sign Ugarte, who of course is now signed for Paris Saint-Germain today. But, you know, Pochettino obviously gave us a bit of insight behind, you know, certain questions some of us fans might have been pondering. For example, when certain players like Kai left, Mount left, etc., etc., reports suggested previously that Pochettino was okay to work with them. And obviously these guys have left now. So people are going to be curious behind, okay, did he have any like say behind the scenes in terms of having any influence? And Pochettino said, listen, my job doesn't start until July 1st. So there's nothing I could do. You know, there's details I don't know. There's things I haven't been informed by. You know, there's aspects to this game that, you know, I'm not there right now because I haven't even become part of the club yet. And I think that's more than fair. And it reiterates the fact that this is why he's going to have full trust in Lawrence Stewart and Paul Winsley, because how they work together is going to be key. And he has to trust their decisions. As he said, you know, there's no point thinking about the past anymore. And I guess this segues in quite nicely to his thoughts on Mason Mount. Now, obviously, in terms of Mount, you kind of reconfirm the same stuff where, listen, I'm only focusing now on the players that are committed to the club at this point in time. You know, Mount's not here anymore. There's no point talking about that. Obviously, it's going to be like a safe PR style answer. But to be honest with you, I think the more important thing is the squad, as Pochettino is saying. It is more important now to focus on pre-season, bringing in the right players and working on things right now because, you know, we need to secure our objectives for next season. Him signing for us and worrying about the past isn't going to help the players who are currently here right now. And these players need to hear and feel that support of their manager. So again, I completely understand it because it's the right move to make.
In terms of players that could be leaving, do you expect Romelu Lukaku to come back for pre-season training at all, or is that decision already been made?
No, I think it's all the situation, personal situation, all the part know what we think, and I think in that case he need to come back. I think the 12th or the 13th for be part of again to the squad.
Okay, so a pretty interesting question from Pochettino, but again, you know, it's the right thing to say. I mean, obviously, if Lukaku is still here before the 12th or 13th when pre-season prep really kicks off and have to get ready for the US tour, then obviously he has to return back to Cobham. They need to have a meeting, they need to talk, and then who knows what happens from there. Now, one thing reports have been mentioning recently is that players who are surplus requirements are actually training in separate groups. So could this be where Lukaku's future is heading towards? I mean, who knows? Obviously, you'd imagine Pochettino is going to be fair. He's going to look at as many players, you know, who are at least showing commitment. And I'm guessing if Lukaku was to return, then I'm not feeling too confident that Inter Milan will be able to secure a deal for him. And obviously, then you have to have real conversations then. And it'll be up to Lukaku to really tell Pochettino, listen, I want to stay here. But again, as Pochettino said, this is only a reality if he is still here by the 12th and the 13th. So we have literally like, what, another week to go now. Let's see what happens surrounding Lukaku.
Can you tell us what those kind of discussions were like? And I wonder if there was any sort of doubt in your mind. We've seen some great managers really struggle here at this football club. Did you worry that it might be damaging at all for you as a manager?
No, I think it was really nice conversations. The first conversation were with Paul and Lawrence, with the sporting director. The first conversation was about, I can maybe a little bit, transparent. Yep. A little bit or a little.
You can be very transparent if you like.
Yeah, obviously you got the press officer there making sure this guy's not stepping out of line. Obviously, that's the game, right?
I need to know if I need to convince you or you need to convince me. Because if I need to convince you,
yeah, it's keeping it real.
That I'm going to put nice chair.
Yeah.
I'm going to shower and everything after shave, because if not, we start to laugh. I think it was a nice conversation from the beginning. And
yo, he's keeping it real. Like, he's keeping it very real. Like, if you're gonna invite him to an interview, you need to have some like bit of understanding and faith and trust behind him already. Obviously, if you don't have that, then all of this is a waste of time, because he can play the part, he can play the role he's supposed to do, but it doesn't make a difference if there's no like real trust in his methods or anything. But I get why it could be like a fair question to ask. There have been many a manager at this football club that have got sacked over the seasons. So obviously, if you want to take over the job, that's something that you're not going to just ignore or dismiss. But I like that Pochettino is not making up any excuses for himself here. As he mentions again, the past is the past, right? And obviously, I don't need any assurances in my contracts. You know what I mean? No clauses to protect me. I have full faith behind my methods and what I'm supposed to do. And he gave us some like interesting insight. Obviously, he mentioned that the projects and plan presented to him is obviously a very big one, a very grand one, a very exciting one. There were some good things he liked to it and some bad things that he didn't agree with too. But he mentioned that, of course, in terms of the conversation, everyone had the same like mindset and mentality. And he says that we have very clever people running the club at this point in time. The most important thing for him right now is building trust in the boards, building trust in the players, and also in the fans as well too. As he says, it's a manager's duty to be able to create that feeling and trust in the fans.
By far.
Yo, he's cutting him off already. It's like, don't even finish that sentence, yeah? Like, don't even finish that sentence.
Better, no? Understanding about everything, not only the knowledge about the game, if not all that, how you need to behave, also outside, on and off the pitch.
I like this part of what he's saying. He's saying that after gaining experience working in Ligue 1, working in a new environment as well too, not only has he improved his knowledge on the game and got better as a manager and a coach, but most importantly, he's developed personally. He's become a better human being. And I think that's a very important thing, because it tells me that this is a manager that comes into this role now. He has no other issues behind the scenes that could, potentially affect the job. Like we've seen recently over the past 12 months, certain managers at certain clubs, have left due to like personal things in their life, kind of like, conflating with their duty for the club. So I feel like with Pochettino basically saying that I'm here. I'm very good. I'm more than ready for this. I can focus solely on the task at hand. I think that's definitely something that can help towards building trust between him, the staff, the board members, the transfer team, etc, etc. And I do feel like as long as this guy gets things right during pre-season, if we're playing properly, if we're seeing certain ideas and patterns of play, then yeah, I think exciting things can happen under Pochettino.
What the passion is like here at Stamford Bridge, we all remember the battle of the bridge. It was
yo, it's so like played out, this question. Like obviously it was gonna come, right? Like I'm sorry, like you guys knew that Pochettino is taking over on the 1st July. Like these journalists have had a pre-season for themselves. They've had holiday time, they've had this time to think of better questions before Pochettino got announced, right? So it's actually so predictable. But my friends, I'm going to end things with a final important point learned from this press conference.
Look, I know in football, no patience. In football, it's difficult to wait. And then when you are here in Chelsea, I think it's not about to ask for time. You need to deliver it from the day one. I think that is why how we are working now in the training ground. Is not to give too many time to the player to think, to spend time, to wasting time. It's about to...
I mean, the guy's not lying, is he? I think last season we all kind of witnessed that firsthand. You know, I hold my hands up. You know, at times I was a bit too head in the clouds with what was happening last season. I learned a lot of lessons from last season, to keep things real. But obviously, you know, Pochettino is saying it, you know, patience doesn't really exist in the game, right? Like when you come to clubs like us in particular, you know what the game is. The game is to win. Like, we're in it to win it. And he's here to deliver that as well too. And obviously, you know, training's to be very important to like implementing and like instilling his ideas and philosophy. But at the same time, he's not here to waste the time of the players. Like, he wants to make sure these guys are training to their optimum best. And I think that's something that the whole squad definitely suffered for last season, with like crazy training sessions where what is really worked upon that can actually be developed and developed and developed as the season goes on. That's why we were so bad. As he says, we can't tell the fans that we need 6 months. Like, obviously, you have to give us something. You got to feed us with something a little bit at least. And obviously, as he mentions again, you know, we need to create that belief from being a team by having this squad of players. And obviously, the main goal right now is to make sure that we beat Liverpool on the first game of the season. We're not here to get a result against them. We're here to win. And I kind of feel like instilling this type of personal belief and conviction and ambition in the players, you know, I kind of feel like if you want the fans to fully support you, it's like a yin-yang thing, right? Obviously, the fans, you have to feel something if you're watching a game. Like, if you're feeling nothing, that's like one of the worst times to watch a game, because you're just going by the motions. But if the squad can like create a reaction in the fans, then obviously that's going to bring more energy and confidence from those fans, which goes back to the players, because maybe that guy might decide to take that shot from 25 yards, or maybe 10 minutes ago or 1/2 ago, he didn't have the confidence to attempt that, and he passes it to a teammate. So that's how I kind of feel like the relationship between fans and players can work at times, yeah. But my friends, you know, in terms of this, you know, first impression of Pochettino today, I have to say, I'm a believer. I'm a believer, yeah. I kind of feel like this guy knows exactly what he's here to do. He's the right type of manager profile that suits working with this structure we're currently building with. You know, we need guys who are comfortable operating on the board level and with the staff, as well as being on the grounds with his own staff, training the players too. And Pochettino has shown that he is a manager. He's an ideas guy that actually makes ideas come to life. So, my friends, share your thoughts and opinions. How do you feel about this? Where would you guys actually like rank this in terms of like first manager interviews? So my friends, there will be another video later out today. I'm Nini FC, this is BlueLionsTV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.